Today, we're taking apart this somewhat cherry Volkswagen GTI. And at the end of the episode, it's gonna look like this. Because we're building our high school dream car. This is our 1991 Volkswagen GTI. It's pretty clean, but it's got nearly 300,000 miles on it. I'm not gonna get you fully caught up on this project, so go watch the last episode. But this is my brother. We're here at his house in Long Island, New York, and we are trying to build what we've wanted since we were kids.
Yes! Come on!
But we don't really feel like doing this on our backs in the driveway. So we're heading up to FCP Euro in Milford, Connecticut, where we've been prepping parts for a couple of months now, and we're getting ready to finally dig into this thing. So let's hit the road. Do you want to do the honors? You want to take it for its last drive?
I don't want to drive the big family car up there, but you insist.
I'll let you take it for its last drive. I'll be the bigger man. I'll let you take it. I know you want to drive it to Connecticut in an hour and a half traffic. I'll take this, unfortunately. I'll take one for the team. He doesn't want to get in. Get in the car. Just leaving a smoke trail behind. Don't look so miserable, you prick. What's up, bud?
What up, baby?
I'm glad we got this thing nice and hot before we have to work on it.
Actually, you know what? I'm not even touching it, so it'll be all right.
What you mean? You're not touching it. You at least got to give it a nice wash down, you know?
I'm just here to smile.
Dude, this thing runs mid. You cannot swap this.
I was gonna say, why are you gonna make it run worse?
Yeah, I was thinking, you know what? Let's switch this whole plan up, ditch the VR.
Yep.
We'll just do shifter bushings, recharge the AC, and we'll go home.
You don't have to tell me twice.
All right, let's do it. Who needs all this junk? Look at this crap.
Fresh bottom end here.
Oh, they did the pistons already?
Dude, this is all done.
No way.
The head is over there with the new cams in it.
All right, just all this stuff looks crusty. I'm gonna give this to Tommy and make him vapor hone all this stuff. I've known the guys at FCP Euro for a long time. So when they heard about the GTI project, they offered to help out. And how could I say no to a beautiful shop with AC and a bunch of people and a huge warehouse full of parts of everything I could ever need, both here in their headquarters in Milford, Connecticut, and also out on the West Coast for us West Coast boys. Shameless plug. And it means I get to come out to the East Coast a bunch, which is great because my family's out here. I'm even wrangling my brother in to help on the build. And a group of cool ass dudes to help work on the car, which Lord knows I need it. But at the end, I'll have a car on the East Coast so I could hit events, do some content. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. So let's get started. Bringing all the boys to the yard with the Escalade. Big old dude magnet here.
Huge dude magnet.
Big shout out to Cadillac for loaning me the Escalade V for the parts hauler, dude. This thing is coming super clutch.
As we took all the parts out of it already.
Hey, they're all unloaded. We got all the stuff here.
I can't believe you're gonna make me sleep in this, but it's actually
This is huge. You could sleep in this.
me.
100% you can sleep in it. We might be able to sleep in it together.
Hey,
Not like that.
hey. Who's Big Spoon?
You got the broader shoulders. I don't know.
Yeah, you got the bigger butt. You make a good little spoon. Not just for the cameras, but we also brought the essentials. Hey, we got the cooler on here. We got to work a little bit backwards. The drive up here got the car really hot, so we can't start yanking the motor out just yet. The plan for the day is engine out, transmission out, suspension out, braking system out. Pretty much take the car completely down to a bare shell, and then worry about rebuilding it later. We got the fan on the engine, trying to cool it down a bit while we work on the other bits. Putting my brother to work here, and then Dave joined us again, Scirocco master. Well, this is a little bit nicer of a shop this time around. A little bit of an upgrade. What do you
I
got?
was gonna just take it up.
Is it pizza?
I mean, it's the size of one.
Let me see. Oh, we can't show those yet.
was like,
Shit. Oh my God, look at the, yo, this is some Dave-ass fabrication right here.
This is all that power wash right there.
Ooh. Let's just take some appreciation that this Pep Boys fence post exhaust isn't even rusted through.
Stool.
You could lower it, it's on a lift.
But then you guys are tall, and then you're gonna be like.
Honestly, it's a pleasure because every bolt is loose. There's not a single stuck bolt being a California.
Oh my God, I forgot. Neither one of them have ever bought a car from California. So this is your first time working on like a real California car.
It's the best, man. It's too easy. That's why I buy my cars from down south. I have them shipped up. I don't want rust.
Guy doesn't have to buy PB anymore.
Right.
Still an OEM master in this thing.
Dude, you could take anything you want. Dave was just geeking on like, because this car has all sorts of like original stuff, O-rings and...
Look at that. That hose.
What is that? Is that for secondary air? Combi valve?
Well, back in the day, it literally attaches to the exhaust manifold, so then
All right.
for emissions and everything, it runs to the intake box.
You never will find that hose again. It is a little sad to tear apart such a survivor car, but if you guys saw earlier in the video, this thing smokes like crazy. The 8-valve is super tired. And how was it driving here, Paul? I mean, this thing struggles to do like traffic speeds.
Actually, it wasn't that bad. For two...
got smoked on the highway.
No way, man. For 275,000 miles, it still had some pep in it. I couldn't be... I was pretty impressed.
So put it back together.
All right, deal. That's easier.
You guys only been here for an hour and I've already done my whole job.
Wait, Gene, can we get some shift linkage and call it a day?
I mean, I think so.
Let's do it.
We'll eat lunch, do the shift linkage, and then
Then go get dinner.
we'll get you some pizza.
Delightful.
Ow, I don't think I've ever...
And this is why I do not want to do this in my driveway.
When you grow up and you become a homeowner, you realize how absolutely brutal you were to your parents.
Mom and Dad, we love you a whole lot.
Remember just like destroying their driveway with our cars and just like not understanding why Dad would be so mad?
The jack sinking into the driveway. Now I feel that pain.
Yeah.
I still do it.
Oh, peep game on laziness engineering. What are you trying to loosen with
The
that?
shifter bracket. I don't want to go underneath the car.
Look at this.
It's gonna work.
I'll go under the car.
You can do it, but watch, it's right here.
Yo, how much torque do you think you lose with each joint on this extension?
And there's a swivel on the end.
This man's trying to do this from the office.
It's a Cali.
No, what?
Break loose in 2 seconds. Watch this. Got it.
Yo, also, wait, stop. Not even exaggerating. You could do with 3 feet less extension there.
But it's better. Look at this. Ingenuity, man.
This is the best tool that we have in our shop. Our Zamboni. This is literally the best tool we could ever have in the shop. Considering the fact that Vin and the boys already made a full day's worth of mess.
This is definitely the most JR-ass purchase that you could get, right? You gotta be cleaning, whether it's cars, it could be floors, whatever. You just have to clean, don't you?
You know, we gotta maintain a standard in this shop. This is technically the wrong way to use this, but I'm not deploying the vacuum. I'm trying to lay down some solvent.
If my garage weren't 10 feet by 10 feet, I would want one of these for sure. God damn, that is sick. Considering the floors are now dry too, so we're not just gonna like track coolant around the entire shop. We got the steering shaft disconnected, fuel lines are off, wiring harness is off. Should drop down pretty easy. We got the exhaust disconnected. So next step, we're gonna drop this whole thing down, get this thing out, then we'll pull it outside, power wash the engine bay, clean this thing all up, get it ready for the swap, and then we got a couple of other little things to do, like swapping brake booster, pedal cluster, shift tower, rear 5-lug, whole lot of stuff. We'll get to that in a bit. We've got this sophisticated engine dropping.
Listen, this is only because the engine table that we ordered, we didn't build it yet.
You guys got a habit here, okay? Y'all got something going on here, all right?
Came like a week and a half earlier, you would have seen a flat 6 also underneath.
You guys just...
Because you working around it.
Yeah.
It's 2:47 p.m.
Wow.
We just got here at 11:30.
Stop for lunch
We didn't
for
really-
45 minutes.
We also didn't really get started until probably like 12:15.
Correct. 100% something is still going to be connected.
Nice work. That was quick, dude. under 2 hours. We got the entire engine, transmission, exhaust, and most of the suspension out.
At a casual pace too.
I don't even see a single drop of sweat. Nowhere. Honestly, we're only doing it here because FCP's got an air-conditioned shop, and it's been amazing to work in here. This thing's probably never been power washed before, so it's got a lot of grime. We gotta move this puppy out the way.
So trying to get the motor out the thing with the forklift. Oh shit. Try it again. We moved the Freedom School Bus real quick.
Hit us with that remote start. Yo, this thing is so insane. The fact that an Escalade could sound like a damn race car is my favorite thing ever. Cadillac damn lost their mind building this thing. Lots of good parts coming off the Mark II, so we didn't want to just let them go to waste. So donating them. Someone who follows me on Instagram, I put up a post and said, I need some stock wheels to roll my car around on, and I got a bunch of Mark II parts. So he's gonna swap this whole engine, trans, everything into a Mark I Caddy. Going to good use. Thank you so much for taking it. No problem. What's your plan on getting this out of your van?
It's gonna be another project.
Honestly, just rear engine swap the Econo line and move on. Got the engine bay cleaned up and pretty much ready to get all of the parts swapped in. And now it's the fun part, figuring out how to start putting all the stuff back together. And boy, do we have a lot of parts. The engine is somewhere over there in pieces still, but we're not ready for that. We've got a lot of these parts getting cleaned up. We've got pretty much the entire VR6 parts catalog thrown at it from all of FTP parts. What we're gonna do right now is start prepping the VR6 front cross member and subframe. We've got some new control arms with new bushings, new ball joints, and everything out, ready to go. So Dave's outside, giving these a spray down. This is crusty. So we're gonna clean this up, we're gonna pull it apart, we're gonna clean it again, and then we're gonna swap in all the new parts, and then start putting this back together. The goal for today is not to put the engine in the car. That's for the next trip back here. What we're gonna get done today is pretty much get the whole chassis prepped and ready to go, meaning put in the 5-lug, the front subframe, the suspension, the brake booster, the pedals, the shift tower, everything. So next time we come back, the engine will be done, we'll slam that thing in the car, and hopefully get it running in just a couple of days. Subframe up on the table, got it mostly cleaned out. It actually has poly bushings, but these arms are super crusty. Sway bar is super crusty. Steering rack, super crusty. Motor mounts, super crusty. Let's start tearing this thing apart. Autotech 30 mil front bar, much thicker than the stock stuff. And then another cool part is it actually has adjustable placement for the end links, because you have a one-piece end link here like this without adjustment. So instead of having an adjustable end link, you could actually adjust where it picks up on the control arm. It's pretty cool. So this should give us a little bit more front end stability without running a stiffer spring rate to retain some good ride quality. So let's throw it on. Everyone around me just wants to ruin my audio. It's not just me, guys. I try. Next thing we're gonna do is replace the control arms with some brand new control arms with bushings, new ball joints, and I also got OEM style control arms, brand new from FCP. They have bushings already in place. And we'll put some new ball joints in right here with all new hubs and wheel bearings and everything. So we want this thing to handle better. It's gonna be set up more to be a driver, less of like a show car. So we're gonna pop that onto the subframe, hopefully back in the car by the end of the day today. So we ran into a bit of a snag here, changing out the pedals. So we were able to get the old pedal cluster out, getting the new one in. Steering column coming off? That seems like a lot of work. Why are you doing it? What's the plan here?
Hopefully we could just drop it just to get the pedal assembly in.
And put it all back together.
Yeah.
Which in a Volkswagen is always the hard part. What do you got?
So we're gonna replace this crusty master with a nice fresh one.
So we actually didn't order a master cylinder. I didn't think about it. When we got to working on the car, we realized that this looks way too disgusting to put into all of our fresh parts. So FCP actually had a new master in stock, and
Right in there, which is great.
hell yeah.
And then we're also gonna replace the cluster master, because this thing is a little beat up too. So getting another nice fresh replacement on this bad boy. So we're converting the car from a cable clutch to a hydraulic clutch. So in order to get it to work, we have to drill a hole into the firewall right over there so that the clutch master cylinder will work. It's a good time.
Can you explain why we're changing out all this stuff?
Corrado uses a hydraulic clutch cable, hydraulics instead of a cable like the Mark II used to. In order to do that, you have to change the entire pedal assembly.
Jeez.
And the booster also for the bigger brakes and everything from the VR6 and everything.
Okay. So yeah, that's why buying the donor car was so much more valuable, because it's a lot of small stuff. You can get an engine for pretty cheap, but then finding like the pedal cluster, the booster, the master, and all the little bits and bobs is pretty difficult, especially these cars are now like 30 something years old. We're gonna change the master cylinders just because these are kind of gross, but we got the master for the bigger brakes, clutch and brake pedal assembly. Not your finest work, but it'll do.
We got it to work this time.
Doing a rear disc conversion on this car. It's actually pretty simple. This car had drum brakes in the rear. It mounts on what's called a stub axle because it's a solid rear axle. So this just bolts on here. Pull that off, and we actually had all the brakes from the Corrado. These things are pretty crusted, and I didn't order new brakes, but then JR came over and was like, yo, we're not letting you put those on. We got new stub axle from Mila, and then some Zimmerman rear rotors. And we got some new pads. So we're gonna pop those on real quick. I'm gonna do one side, Dave's gonna do one side. I'm gonna see if I can finish before you.
So I'm doing both sides now, aren't I?
Ah, no, I'll do one side. To go along with the high school dream build theme, we got HR ultra low coilovers. These are something that I always wanted as a kid, but was never able to afford. And I got these through FCP as part of their new initiative to stock more aftermarket parts. So we were able to get these right through them, which is great. We had a set of budget coilovers on the car, and it was really just to get the ride height good for the time being. But these are gonna be a huge upgrade now that we're doing everything and adding more weight with the VR6. And we want it to be a bit more handling and like driver focused. We laid the entire Corrado harness out on the ground, and we're trying to figure out where everything goes. We're gonna start at the ECU, see where it goes through the body, into the engine compartment, and then we're gonna start laying this thing out. There's a lot of kind of janky wires that were cut and fixed. Not exactly like that just came off of something. So not exactly a quick plug and play solution, but we want to run the entire OEM harness because we want this car to work like it's a factory Corrado or Mark III with AC, heat, fan control module, like all the good stuff. We don't want any like janky aftermarket wiring.
Full ECU functionality.
OEM plus.
That's it. I think we got some progress. We dissected the harness, and basically we have to integrate this harness with that one, and we'll do that at home. So everything else here stays put, all the lighting harness and so on, so it's nice and clean and simple at that point. It was just this little chunk of harness that we need, and there's only a few wires that we want to go through. So we're going to utilize the stock hole, run it right through.
Dave, the dash mongrel. Are you gonna come back next time? Because this looks, this is totaled if you don't come back.
Well,
this doesn't get finished.
Well, I guess now's a good time to talk about my pay raise and everything, just, health benefits, all those minor details.
Hey, JR, can you put Dave on payroll somehow?
Throughout this last day and a half or so, Dave and I, we started out really close.
Oh my God.
I don't know what happened.
You put a man under a dashboard of a Mark II for a couple days. He's gonna start getting surly.
There's some distance in between us now. I really would just, want me to buy you a drink later or what?
Gee, the easy answer is Vinny overworked us.
That's not true.
That is true.
I've always known Dave as a salty guy, and it's because his Scirocco just wears him out. And then he goes away from the Scirocco for a bit, gets happy, and then you come and work on a Mark II. And
you know what?
Well, look at you. You're just broken.
Realized.
You look broken.
I just realized that anytime there starts to become some distance, we need to think about the fact that we both were Scirocco owners. And that brings us closer.
Oh, God. Working on your car on the other side of the country, pretty difficult. Anytime you're working on your car, expect some delays. And no different here. Unfortunately, this is the VR6 that we took out of the Corrado, and it had some issues.
We started with a really cool, actually, teardown episode that wasn't really supposed to go as much of a teardown as we did here.
Yeah, the original plan was timing chains, because that's a common problem on the VR6, and head gasket, and like little gaskets here and there, but just like a quick refresh. It ended up needing a full teardown.
We didn't expect the bottom end to actually have weird cylinder walls, but the bores themselves were a little funky. So
Yeah.
like, you know, might as well recondition them and put oversized pistons, like all that stuff.
Yep, so we had to do an overbore kit, so kind of like a 2.9 liter now, but we did a Tectonics tuning 81.5 mil piston, and then they line bored the main caps and put new bearings.
It's the OEM stuff that you would put in from the jump, plus the 81.5 mil pistons. And it's pretty much just like a OEM plus.
Yeah, because we didn't want to go crazy. We didn't need to do like forged pistons or anything. And then on the top end, we decked the head, so you're getting a little bit more compression. And I did Autotech 264 cams up top. And then I think they like refreshed the head. They did all that.
Yeah, so down the street, like 10 minutes away, it's like a continuation of like Eurocar Mecca. And there's this really cool shop, Center Auto Machine. And they basically just refreshed this whole thing. They reconditioned the bottom end. They did the entire top end, dipped everything, cleaned everything, pretty much brand new. And the only reason it's still apart is because we need to finish our teardown episode, and that's going to be the rebuilding of the engine. So
yeah, so I'm not going to cover the whole engine build. There's too much going on. It'll take forever. These guys make their own content on FCP Euro's YouTube, and they'll do more in-depth stuff. So if you guys want to learn how to do timing change, you want to learn how to rebuild a VR, or you just want to watch these guys work on stuff, you can watch the whole engine build series on their channel, and we're going to stick to focusing on building the car. So this is where we're at. This is how far we got today. Took the car from a running and driving, pretty much perfect 8-valve GTI to this. Engine bay is ready to accept the new motor. We got the subframe back in. Got to put the control arms in and the power steering rack, but we're waiting to do a couple things. The biggest thing is we need to figure out the wiring. So under the dash is still taken apart. But out back, we've got the whole 5-lug setup complete, so that's done. Next time we get here, we'll have the engine completely assembled. We'll have all the parts we need to get it done. So hopefully in the next episode, this car starts up, it runs, it drives, and we get this thing fully dialed. Okay, we're on the ferry back to Long Island. Got my mom here, and then I have to drive from Long Island to JFK to catch a 7 o'clock flight, which is gonna be really tough. The rest of these videos are gonna come out in a pretty timely fashion. I wanna get this build done, not in real time, but quicker for you guys, so I think it'll be more enjoyable, more painful for me, more enjoyable for you. We're gonna get this thing done quick. Next episode, we're gonna be up at FCP Euro, getting a lot of work done on the VR6, and then getting it in the car, so stay tuned for more, but for now, I'm out.